This video was made for DW4Ever91's personal YouTube friend, who for all intents and purposes he's referring to as Hard2436 to make things simple. And now, on with the show.
Hello my fellow Americans, my name is Joe Biden and here's something you probably weren't expecting to see in a Speakonia video, a victory speech as opposed to a farewell speech. That's right folks, in a miraculous turn of events I have achieved a swell victory in the 2020 elections and am now the 46th President of the United States. Not only is this a victory for yours truly, but also it is a victory for my political group and all-around BFFs, the Crabapple Quagmire Pancake Party. Yes, you heard me right, I was actually a member of the KQPP this whole time. It's really no stretch to the imagination that I would be raging footser. Why else do you think I made Kamala Harris my vice president in the first place? If you ever saw that form of pedal perfection that are her pancakes, you wouldn't even have to ask ha ha ha. But anyways, thanks to the political advice and motivational soul scrubs of my fellow peddlers, I'll be rocking this swell title for the next 4 years and hopefully another 4 more to come ha 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 come. As for that political pariah Donald Trump, who is taking his defeat more butthurt than expected, he has stated that despite losing this year's election he still intends to make the Speakonia community great again. As a result, he has fled back to the arms of his butthurt-spreading associates in the Carmen Collective, who were most likely responsible for getting his term in the first place. In what seems like a retaliation on his part, he has joined forces with the Springfield Republican Party, and has formed a new political branch to the group's butthurt-spreading agenda, which is now known as the Speakonia Republican Party, or as he personally refers to it as the Trump Bunch. And so I'll be making preparations to enter the White House once they eventually kick Trump out, since it's clear he won't give it up without a fight. Until then I will be getting reacquainted with my fellow foot fanatics in the KQPP as they get me prepped and pampered, especially pampered for my presidential inauguration. See you in 2021 my swell foot vapors.
Well, if it isn't the future loafer leader of the foot-free world finishing his swell victory speech. So Joe, how goes addressing all the soul sheep that worship you and your sexy smooth-looking pedalage?
Yes, beating that loser Trump and winning the presidential election was the greatest thing to happen to not only you, but for all the patriotic pedal pumpers of this whole country.
Oh my, if it isn't 2 of my favorite pedal pals, Glenn Quagmire, one of the founding members of our group, and Big Bob Pataki from Hey Arnold. So what's the good news fellas?
Hataha, it's funny you should mention that. I just got off the phone with Edna and she says that we've successfully recovered Mayor Krakow from his purgatory prison and have pedal pampered him so far out of the shoe closet that he's still coughing up everyone's sweaty socks from the after party. It's just as swell as it sounds.
Speaking of socks, I'd like to take this time to promote my newest line of Ashy Aphrodisiacs Biden brand edible socks. It absorbs foot sweat and pedal blood much better than your average brand. Yes.
Well Joe my boy, if you're done promoting yourself and making us horny with your product placements, why don't you come back to HQ and have your big celebratory stop victory toe orgy before we get fitted into the White House and we make this country foot-fappingly friendly again.
To be honest, I myself could use a bit of physical stimulation at the moment. Me and Glenn walked all the way here and my smooth-looking dogs are barking louder than the German shepherds you're bringing in. Yes.
So how's about it Joe? You wanna have a nice foot 3-way with me and Big Bob as a swell warm-up for when you are reunited with your beloved Kamala Harris back at home base?
Yeah, I promise to make it worth your while if you tenderize my sore meat slabs. I'm gonna cool them down with your love juices after I've given you a phenomenal happy ending.
Well then what are we waiting for? Take those shoes off and let's party like it's 1999 all over again, ha ha ha.
Alright. Now let's dive feet first into some patriotic pedalage. Heel to the chief. And yes, I said heel, as in both my heels scraping against his presidential private areas. Big Bob is about to show you how he got that name. DW4Ever91 is super glad that Joe Biden won the presidential election this year. It will surely open the door for so many potential jokes in future Speakonia videos. Especially Especially now that a member of the KQPP is gonna be getting his rocks off in the Oval Office. Now we can look back at the Trump administration as one of the biggest mistakes America has ever made. Personally, it should have never happened. Hillary totally had it in the bag. There's no way Trump could have gotten in fair and square. And to paraphrase from DJ Swell 69, DW Forever 91 doesn't give a flying Gildas if you think otherwise. He's just telling the truth. Joe Biden's swellness will spread across the nation from sea to shining seaman. Speaking of which, time for me and Big Bob to rub our fruited plains across that Purple Mountain's majesty like America, America. Lilith shed your grace on me. Giggity, 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 giggity.
Bag, that was swell.
The end!
Swing your partner round and round and go to town. Now it's time to say goodbye to Dora and his kid. Thank you folks for kindly doing stuff and dropping in. Have a heaping helping of our hospitality. Lee. Goodbye, everybody.
And that is basically what the KQPP wants to do in the community. I mean, come on, like it's really that simple to get all the foot fapper groups to come together in harmony like that. They want to threaten our very way of life here. It is every potophiliac's patriotic right to disagree with other groups when they don't see eye to eye, or foot to foot in this case. And now this ethnic rubapple wants to try and take that away from us. Isn't this just typical people? I say it's time to send the KQPP a message, and tell them that we aren't taking this disrespect for freedom sitting down any longer. Well, it looks like I have a caller on the line. Maybe they can shed some light on what I'm talking about. Hello caller, you're on the air with Birch Barlow. How do you feel about this liberal outrage against true patriotic peddlers everywhere?
Yeah, when's the last time you actually had any foot-tastic satisfaction, Barlow? Why, I bet you haven't laid eyes on a pair of smooth toes since you were in the maternity ward.
Well, actually, I'm not really a potophiliac. I just defend their rights and support them.
Ah, you'd have a better chance supporting your fat ass than you would our potophilic race.
Psst, tell him he has a baby penis.
Oh yeah, and you have a baby penis.
Oh sweet Dildis, I really got to start tracing calls for those liberal pranksters.